Welcome to Driveway Garage. Today I'm going to put a hitch on my 2011 Hyundai Santa Fe. It's been 2 weeks since I ordered it. It finally arrived last night, so I'm going to attempt to put it on today. Let me show you what I have going on. So, if you don't know what a Santa Fe looks like, you probably do if you're watching this video, but this is my 2011. It's kind of a dark green, almost a brown. Of course, the hitch goes on the back. The nice thing about this one, it's got the wiring harness underneath already there. You just have to plug in the adapters and I'm good to go. So, tools you're going to need. There they are. You're going to need a ratchet, a 5/8, 11/16, 10 millimeter, 18 millimeter, and in my case too, a 21 millimeter, because I'm going to use my drill to lower the spare tire down, and this is the nut that you attach your drill to drop the spare tire. You also need a torque wrench so you can get it torqued to specs. Safety glasses would be nice. I wear regular glasses. A flat screwdriver, tape measure, that's in case you have to cut the there's a heat shield underneath. I'm going to have to cut a little bit off of that so the thing works. Hitch. Shears for doing that, marker to mark it, and a couple of extensions. Now I went ahead and got my 1/2-inch impact, my 3/8 impact, and my regular drill, all cordless, all run off the same batteries. You're also going to need some kind of a battery terminal cleaner. The reason why is that little wire brush right there will go up in the bolt hole and clean it out, because 2 of these bolts, I'll take you underneath and show you those, 4 of them are threaded and they just go right into the frame, and it's probably going to be a little rusty and dirty, so you want to clean it out. So let me take you down below here, show you what we have going on down here. There's my bolts. These bolts go in the sideways, one on each side. Then you've got 2 on each side of the shorter ones. And then these are the wrenches I'm going to need. The smaller ones are 5/8, the bigger ones are 11/16. Now underneath here, I'm going to drop the spare tire down so I have a little more room. Then I have to take that heat shield off and notch it, because up at the top is where the hitch attaches to. You also have to drop your exhaust a little bit. So you've got to take these pieces of metal out of this rubber. They say some soapy water helps. We'll see. And then you got to do, now, I'll show you where the bolt holes are. You can see 2 of them right there. 1 and 2. And those are the ones that are threaded. So those are the ones you're going to need a wire brush of some kind to fit up in there, clean them out. The other one is up above, and the bolt just goes through. I was thinking there was 2 bolts on each side on the top up in here. You can barely see it, but I was thinking there were 2 bolts, but they didn't send me enough if there is. They only sent me 2 long ones, so I'll have to double check on that. I'll know when I get the hitch over here. And then this is the wiring harnesses I was talking about. It's really handy. Just pull these caps off, plug in the new harness, then you're going to have to attach it to the hitch. And I bought a little bracket so it'll attach to the plastic. It's a metal bracket that attaches to the bumper, and then you can snap your wiring harness into it so it's not just dangling down loose. And then when you get all that done, you raise the spare tire up, put it back into place. So they recommend 2 people for this, but I'm only one of me. So as I put my drill on that nut up on top and unscrew it, this whole thing should just drop down to the ground, and then this slips through the hole here sideways. You get rid of it and you get your spare tire out of the way. So I'm going to get started. I guess the first thing I'll do is drop the spare tire. Then I'll take the heat shield off, see where I'm going to have to trim that, because the It's made out of metal. Maybe that's not the one you trim. I can't remember. It might be that one up on top there now that I think about it. Where am I at? I don't think it's this metal one that needs trimmed. I think it's the one up there because that's the one by the frame. Well, we're fixing to find out here. All right, I'm going to pause this and try to get a little bit of stuff done. I don't want to record everything. I'll run out of memory on my phone. Well, I got the spare tire out. You can see how the cable went down to the ground. You lift the tire up a little bit, bend this sideways, and it'll go back up through the hole in the center of the tire. And now I have plenty of room. You can see the holes up there where it goes on the bottom. This is the heat shield. Well, still not positive about that. One of these heat shields, and I'm pretty sure it's the top one there, because back there where it attaches to the frame is where you have to notch it. This is going to be a tight fit. Anyway, let me get started. I'll drop the exhaust down. They make a special tool for that, but you have to loosen it here and back there. And I don't have the tool for it, so I'm just going to try to do it with my hand. If I have to, I'll get a pair of water pump pliers. One way or another, I'll get it lowered down. And this hitch is 5 feet long almost and kind of heavy, so I was thinking maybe I'll get a couple jack stands under here, get them close to where at the right height, and then I can use those to hold the jack or the hitch in place while I get ready to bolt it, and I won't have to lift it quite so high or support it on one end while I'm bolting the other end. Let's see what happens. Well, I got the exhaust lowered. I tried to take that top, the rubber mount off the top bracket. There's just no way I could do it without the special tool. So I took a pry bar and got it in here beside these two, and I was able to pry those off. I don't think those are the ones you want to take off, but that's the only ones I could get off. You see the way it's lined up there. There was no way I was getting that top one off. And I got the back one off. That one was pretty easy. I got my pry bar up in here, hooked on the top of it, and then I just wedged it off of there. That one came off pretty easy. I went ahead and took the side heat shield off. That was 10 millimeters. Whether it's going to help me or not, but now I've got to take out that bolt, and I think there's one in the back. Hopefully not two. Not a lot of room to work. I'm just going to have to get a 10 millimeter open end wrench, get up in there, because I don't think, unless I get a swivel, maybe another extension. Where am I at? I'm not going to be able to get my drill up in there. Oh, that'd be the handiest. Maybe I'll take the time, go get another extension or a longer one and swivel. It'll be a lot faster in the long run. The progress continues. Okay, I got the heat shield off, sitting over here. So there's a nut on that one. There's a nut on that one over there. And in the back there's a bolt. And then going up from the bottom, there's another nut in the back corner there. So you can all get them. I mean, get them. I ended up going to 1/4 inch because I couldn't find my adapter for the drill for 3/8. Put a long extension on it and a swivel, 10 millimeter socket, and I was able to get them all off of there. I have 3 batteries, and of course 2 of them decided to go dead, so I'm down to 1. And I've got to use that battery for cleaning the rust off of everything. It's not bad for where I live at. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. Make sure it bolts, has a nice tight fit. If I had some, what do they call that stuff? Film lube, something. South Main Auto uses it all the time. Some kind of spray on oil. I would spray some of that up in there. I might do something just to make sure you don't get some rust, but We don't have a huge problem with rust here. As you can see, that metal's pretty clean all the way underneath here. They salt the roads a little bit, but not too bad. So we don't get the rust they get in New York. Well, anyway, I'm going to clean up my metal areas a little bit, and then I'm going to see if I can use these jack stands and try to get the hitch in place. I'll show you what that looks like if it works. Well, I guess I'm going to have to do a part 2 because they sent the wrong bolts. The bolts they sent for these bottom holes, where are they at? Those two. They won't go in there. They're just like one size too big. I don't know. I can't even get them started so I can clean out the hole. So I'm going to use the few bolts I have, see if I can find the right size, and go down to Ace Hardware and get the right bolts and then finish it up. It's kind of a pain because, of course, I have everything taken apart. Exhaust is hanging loose. But I guess it'll be alright for a short drive. So, stay tuned for part 2.